Ladies and gentlemen, this is again Bongani Shiba of Walk Tall with Shiba, the show that seeks to inspire and motivate other people by listening to other people's stories. We have a special show today for this episode because this will be a live audience recording.
Yeah.
And I also happen to have a hype man, an MC, a sound engineer, a recording artist, and so on and so on and so on. And by his request, he would like to have the vibe of having people watch him because he works on stage all the time, even for a small interview like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you this gentleman called Sandile Lephondo Msibi, once known as the Phenomenal Kid, once now known as Big Dreamz. Behind him, he has mastered and mixed one of the greatest tracks in Africa called Doc Shebeleza by Casper Nyovest, amongst other things. But right now, we're going to be talking to him about his career and how he has pushed his life from the dusty backgrounds of Manzini and somewhere in Soweto. I will find out. There's a lot, but this is a gentleman whose story could probably inspire all of you young ones out there and old ones out there who have been trying to make it work by pushing your own passion. Sandile, hi.
That's the longest high I've ever had. But it's a humbling high as well because I don't enjoy hearing things about myself from other people. But considering that it's you, it makes it a bit more comfortable.
Sandile, hi.
Ujani.
I'm very well, thank you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes. Please give us a little bit of your background and maybe your present ground and your future ground.
Well, born Nazarene to Manzini, 31 May 1984, raised in Two Sticks, Sydney Williams Primary, left Swaziland for high school, went to Athlone Boys, went to Hillview, got expelled, went to Athlone, got expelled, went to Olympus, got expelled, and then I ended up in Bahai, where everything changed. And I fell in love with music, and some of the people that I met at Bahai are still a part of my life, even till today.
Right, and at Bahai you got expelled?
Well, I didn't get expelled at Bahai. I actually failed, and I was too embarrassed to stay because I thought I knew everything. So I failed, and I thought I'm not going to repeat another year in Bahai, so I opted to go to Parktown College.
All right, so now you're talking about high school. You did Sydney Williams in Swaziland. You went to high school in 4 different high schools.
So, 96, I finished Sydney Williams first class. 97, I do Hillview, get expelled.
And you get expelled.
And then 98, I do Olympus, I get expelled. 99, I do Athlone Boys, I get expelled. And then I end up in Bahai High School.
Bahai High School, the one in Swaziland.
The one in Swaziland, because I've been given an ultimatum. Either I'm going to Boys Town, which is like a prison for kids, or I'm going to Swaziland so that I can become myself again.
Okay. Yeah. And of course you became yourself.
Of course I became myself.
All right. And your present ground is looking like what right now?
Mixed mastering engineer. I've worked with, I think the biggest song right now that I just finished is Nadia Nakai, Namin.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, I mean the song is actually Namin.
Okay.
The name of the song is Namin. Before that, I did Miss Cosmo, A Baby. There's some stuff that I'm finishing now with Nadia Nakai, and I'm working on my own projects. But
yes, you have recorded something with Questa.
Oh, Questa, yes. Questa, actually, his first single that went on radio, we did it in my room in Omonde.
Wait. You and Questa were in your room?
Yeah, so that was in high school. Before he broke and became the brand that he is, I just met this guy through music, through ciphers. There was a club we used to go
that's what was happening. You mentioned being in your room with the guy. Never mind. Let's move on. What does your future ground look like?
Well, for the first time, I'm focusing on myself as an artist because I let that side die. As an engineer, I'm pretty much established. I've worked with pretty much the biggest artists that I aspire to be like, and as a result, my personal artist side has died.
Okay.
And so I'm working to revitalize that, and I'm pushing work away right now as an engineer.
You're also an MC, like
Yeah.
as an event MC.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about.
I stumbled upon that because I've always had a big mouth. You know, even with Bahai, when you made us to more African evening, we've always been forward. We've always had a voice, and I didn't know you could make money off of it. So in 2010, there was auditions that were running for 2009 for the World Cup. So they put a lot of South African celebrities to do these things, this thing called fan parks, FIFA
Yes,
fan fest,
yes.
that I'd never heard of. And
Well,
so
there had never been a World Cup before.
before, so apparently they had them all around the world. I just never heard of them because
Because you had never been in that area. Of course.
exactly.
Just for the listener to understand, when he says you made us do this, Sandile Colin, the phenomenal kid, now known as Big Dreamz, is actually a former student of mine when I was still a teacher at the Bahai High School, and his first MC job was when we ran a concert called the African Evening.
Yep.
So I guess we could say I actually gave him light to be the MC.
Yeah.
But let's move on, Sandile. We've gone past the bit. Let's see. You are talking about how you have been expelled, and at some point in time you had too much pride. You dropped out of school. Is that what you said?
I did drop out of school.
Right.
I actually never finished school. People don't know this about me. I never finished school, and I was bored of school. I was bored of the curriculum. I remember even being asked, I don't know if it was you or Dr. Wade, and I asked, how are some of these subjects going to help me in the things that I want to do in life? And I was just so narrow-minded. So I thought I knew everything. I mean, looking behind now, I would have actually loved to complete because there's a lot that I actually don't know.
Right.
But at the time, I thought I knew everything because I already had like a foot in with some of the artists, foot in with some of the engineers and producers, and I thought that's all I needed.
Okay.
But yeah.
As a kid growing up in South Africa, and I mean, there's a lot, especially you talk about Ekasi,
Yeah.
right? And you must have had a tough time if you didn't finish school. How did you then push yourself?
I was hungry. I didn't have a choice because
There was no food at home.
no, I was hungry for the success. I was hungry for the success. Like when we finished Bahai, it became such a strange time because I went to Parktown College, and my best friend brother went to where did you go?
All right.
CJC.
Let's do this. Tell me what and who inspires you.
A lot, eh? I think I'm inspired by present fathers, to be honest,
Okay.
because I never had that. So it's a weird thing for me. But I've got another guy called Konke, who is a family guy. He's proud to be there for his kids. He's one of those guys who sacrifices everything to be around. And for me, I feel like because I never experienced that, like my mom got me as a teenager, then she left me in Swaziland and went back to Soweto. My dad was never around. Those are the things for me that really make a difference.
Right. And how does that push you from the delinquent child that you sound like you were to this guy who's spinning out major tracks and working with the cream of music in South Africa? How has that inspired you? How has that helped? Or is there another inspiration for you to be that kind of hardworking person, other than hunger, of course?
I think I just got tired. I don't think I changed because of my inspirations. I got tired of trying to be cool, trying to fit in, trying to be relevant, trying to be important among people. I think I got to a point where I actually don't care too much. I care about the people that have been around me for a long time. And I noticed that I've got people who've been consistent in my life. And if I take care of them as much as they take care of me, I become better. And that became my focus. And I think ngakhula kanjalo when I just decided to let go and be myself.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's get out of the deep stuff for now. And tell me something. You went to Baha'i school and they taught virtues the whole time. Tell me one virtue that you feel should exist in the world that will make a better place.
Yo, I don't remember those.
This was not meant. This was not meant to be a test. This was not meant to be a test. This is not the teacher speaking. It's okay. Like how if people practiced something in the world, it would be a better place. That's where I'm headed.
I think being considerate of other people, irrespective of their background, whether financially. I think religion is one of the biggest dividers that we've ever had. And the whole notion that you're inferior to me because you believe in something that I've never subscribed to is what has kept even us as black people apart.
Okay.
And I'm still like, if people would just focus more on who you are as a person versus what you know from a book that we can argue for days that it wasn't here in the 1800s. My ancestors all in hell because there was no Christianity when they were there. I've just got a lot of things that I'm still learning myself. So I feel like religion is one of the things that is a big divider. And if people can just put that aside and get to know me as a person, and by me I'm saying as a human being, any human being, it'll bring us closer. So that for me is one of the things that I'm still to this day like improve and learn.
Good. I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask if you are practicing that.
I am. Last year I had a bit of a challenge. Like I even didn't go to church that much because I felt like I was more concerned about being seen at church and being present and being given the whole, wow, he's such a nice person.
Right.
When inside, I actually wasn't that person. It was just to be seen so that I could get the props. But I just decided that if there truly is a God, he knows that I'm lying even when I'm sitting in that church.
Right.
So I need to find, first of all, where I belong. I do believe in the Africanness. I'm still learning all about it. It's just a frustrating thing for me because there's not enough literature around it for me to get to where I want to go. But because it's a divider, it's just one of those things that I'm dedicating my life to understanding.
All right.
We went deep again.
It's okay. Look, you were the one talking. You were the one that went deep. I asked a simple question. But I guess that actually says to me the expulsions and dropping outs haven't really killed you. At this point in time, you have a feeling you want to learn more, you want to read more, and so on, and that's really great. I'm going to ask you this question: if you were to encourage the listener to get out of their ruts, to get out of their deep hole, to get out of their difficulties, whether they've been expelled or they have not been able to succeed in one thing, what would you say to make people walk tall through their problems, through their difficulties? Like, what would you advise?
I don't know if I'm in a position to advise because I'm still trying to find the answers myself. And I often find it very disturbing when I hear people who haven't reached a certain level, whether it's intellect, it's got nothing to do with finances, giving advice. And my fear is to try sound intelligent by offering advice when I myself am still searching for answers. So it's a place I'd rather not venture. I don't have the advice. The only thing I can say is, just learn and be humble. Don't be afraid to ask questions where you are unclear. And sometimes your questions will offend people, but if it's approached in the correct way, you will learn something.
Right. So learn, be humble. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And I was about to expel you from my show because you were not helping people walk tall. You were not helping.
I think learn.
Walk tall.
Learn.
All right. We have 30 seconds to go.
Really?
Yes.
It feels like we just started.
Yes, of course. With you, I'm not. I'm going to ask you two questions. Hip hop or kwaito?
Hip hop.
Right.
Definitely.
Movies or novels?
Definitely movies. Novels take longer.
Africa is
the core of humanness.
All right. And last one, Manzini or Joburg?
Definitely Manzini.
Whoa, okay.
No question about that.
I like
Two
that.
sticks specifically.
Okay, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been Sandile. See you later.